Sure. Here's a fun story for you. The flea market find. Jeremy loved flea markets. There was something magical about sifting through dusty relics, half-broken trinkets, and bizarre oddities that seemed to carry their own forgotten histories. He wasn't looking for anything in particular. He just liked the thrill of the hunt. One Saturday morning, he wandered into a sprawling flea market on the edge of town, past tables filled with old comic books, rusty tools, and vintage clothing. He was about to move on when something caught his eye at a small cluttered booth run by an old woman with wild gray hair and a 1,000-yard stare. Sitting among her collection of ceramic cats and faded postcards was a pickle jar. But inside the jar wasn't pickles. It was a single, shriveled, greenish-brown mass, a lump of something unidentifiable. The label on the jar read, "Cursed Wishbone, do not open." Jeremy chuckled. "What's this?" The old woman peered at him and whispered, "That, young man, is a wishbone from a very special turkey, but it only grants one wish, and never quite the way you'd expect." Jeremy grinned. He loved weird junk like this. "How much?" $20, she said. "Deal." He handed her the cash, grabbed the jar, and went on his way. That night back home, he couldn't resist. It was just a hoax, right? He twisted open the lid, reached inside, and plucked out the brittle wishbone. It felt unnaturally warm. "What the hell?" he muttered, closing his eyes. "I wish I never had to worry about money again." The moment the words left his mouth, the bone snapped in his hands. The lights flickered. The air turned cold. The next morning, Jeremy woke up to a flood of emails, texts, and notifications. His bank account had somehow ballooned to $10 million. He was rich. His wish had worked. Then the phone rang. It was his boss. "Jeremy, I don't know how to say this, but the company's been hit with a major lawsuit. Some kind of accounting error. They traced the missing funds to your account." His stomach dropped. Within hours, federal agents were at his door. His assets were frozen. The money was gone, his job was lost, and he was under investigation for fraud. Panicking, Jeremy grabbed the wishbone jar, only to find it empty. The bone had vanished, but a new label had appeared on the glass. "Your wish has been granted." Jeremy sank to the floor, realizing the old woman's warning hadn't been a joke. And somewhere, back at the flea market, the old woman placed a brand new jar on her table. The label read, "Cursed Wishbone, do not open."